And welcome back to the Simple Mind Sports Show Friday Rewind live Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. We're here to ask when will the Patriots prove something? Did they do it on Sunday? I don't know. I want to talk about it. We'll talk about the opportunities to prove something moving forward. A lot of Patriots talk, obviously, as we are in the NFL playoffs. A little baseball as well. Maybe some Celtics. That was ridiculous. I want to get Bobby's take. Maybe he has it in opening takes. Beautiful segue, Rich. Thank you very much. Let's do opening takes as we always do. Bobby, kick us off.
Certainly. It took all the way for a wild card playoff, but I've finally done it. I've finally given in. I am excited and bought into this team. I've given away. I've thrown all inhibitions to the wind. I'm like a single mother, finally letting love back in. I am back in with the Patriots. It took the playoff win, but now I am expecting a trip to the AFC title game where I can then put my nuts on the table and have this team back in the goddamn Super Bowl and be a belligerent asshole to everybody that knows me about the team, which I have been for a long time. Let's do it.
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally, we get the belligerent asshole.
Where has that been?
What are you in a hangar?
Me?
Yeah.
Nah, it's my boiler.
Basically.
It's on
Ray,
its last leg over there.
Ray, your opening take.
Thank you there, Richard. Stephon Diggs was a little upset because the stadium wasn't loud enough to his liking. Well, here's newsflash there. Maybe we shouldn't have 8 o'clock fucking Sunday night games anymore, especially if we have home field advantage. Make those LA fucks come here at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and play football. I hate 8 o'clock games. I can't stay up that late. I'm getting old, and I am for never having a Sunday night football game for the wild card ever again.
Hell yes, Raymond. Hell yes.
Jesus, what a bitch. I was wondering where you were the whole text exchange. Both you assholes were when silent. What do? Wake up and like shut your phone off and watch the game?
Yes,
pretty much.
God. I mean, I get it. I don't like staying up either, but
hey, 4 o'clock comes fucking very fast nowadays.
I gotcha. My opening take is my original take. What are they going to prove something? What's next for the Patriots? What did the game say to you? Question marks. I got question marks. I want to talk about them. So we're going to do that. We're going to do Pats Chargers reaction. We've got around the NFL. We've got some dead coaches, some dead quarterbacks, and some thriving teams. We're going to touch on the Bregman debacle, the botching of the Bregman deal. Like I said, maybe just a little teaser of what's going on with the Celtics, because that's just a little too juicy to leave off, I think. We've got this or that with Chief Bobby, and of course, Simplest Minds of the Week. This is the Simple Mind Sports Show Friday Rewind. Welcome to the show.
I got something troubling on my mind. I got something troubling on my mind. I got something.
If you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome. New room for Bobby.
Right.
Ray's flaunting a beautiful set of hair, which
Thank you. I appreciate that.
you should all be jealous. It's pretty bad from the hairline down, but it's extraordinary on top there.
Thank you.
Extraordinary is what I meant to say. Cam Newton, the fuck out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Cam Newton, I love Boston sports, fan favorite. They're a favorite of ours. Ray, why don't you tell us a little bit about them?
Why don't you go down to 250 Grant Street, Braintree, Massachusetts, and you can go see their newest thing, Trophy Town, where you can go and take a picture with all the Super Bowl trophies, the NHL Stanley Cup, World Series trophies, and all that. $50 for entry fee, and you get prizes, autographs, and you name it, they have it. Go check them out.
Thank you very much, dear Raymond.
Do they charge you to sit like a douche like those guys?
Like this guy?
Any of them?
Which
Did
one's
they
the
charge for
which
that
one?
too?
Which one's the douchiest, you think?
Bottom
left.
Right. Bottom right.
Ooh, bottom right. I went bottom left.
I think you can do that for free.
Yeah.
Is that how
Me?
you sit when you go, Raymond?
No. I usually have your mother on my lap, but hey, to each his own.
Boom, 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 boom.
Fair enough. I was distracted there for a second. I know what's going on. Patriots 16, Chargers 3. A couple places we could start here. Most want to start with the defense, which I'm not going to, poo-poo on you if you want to do that. They only gave up 3 points. However, Justin Herbert is a fucking tool. So I want to start with Drake Maye. I think that's the biggest storyline coming out of the game. He is going to win or lose you in the Super Bowl if you're on Bobby's team here. And for the first 2 quarters, and Ray's team, I guess, who was refusing to admit he was an MVP just a couple weeks ago. The first couple quarters were not so great for Mr. Drake Maye. Obviously turned around in the second half, 11 for 14 there in the second half. And look, here's the positive side. He looked hesitant. He looked a little bit shaky. He looked hesitant's the best word I can describe for him. That's what you got. That's where the tipped interception came from. He didn't want to force the ball down the field. His offensive line, I think, got worse as the night went on, frankly. But when it was nut cutting time, he dropped the ball into triple coverage, basically, to Hunter Henry for the game-separating touchdown, game-winning touchdown, more or less. So I think that's what defines real winners, is being able to overcome mistakes in big games and make game-changing plays. And as a quarterback, game-changing throws specifically. We saw it from Tom Brady, who obviously is the greatest professional athlete of all time, but many people forget all the fucking first quarter interceptions that guy threw in playoff games and Super Bowls. It was like clockwork, it felt like, or the safety that he took in whatever that Super Bowl was on the first goddamn play of the game, I think. So, but obviously comes back and gets the job done. It's still a question mark for me, Bobby, what you're going to get moving forward. But I think the track record, and we talked about it last week, this was the first time he's seen playoff action, the first time that he's seen anything this year. He hesitates a little bit, has a little bit of a struggle, and then rebounds really quickly. We saw it in the Baltimore game. You saw it many occasions this season. You might have seen that in the second half of last game. And if the trend continues, he will carry over his excellent play in the game against the Texans on Sunday, even with that even better defense coming into town, which we can talk about here soon.
I think what we saw is it took Drake Maye a half to acclimate to the intensity and speed of playoff football. But when he did, he was right at home because he can hang, and he's one of the better players in the league. He's a slow starter notoriously to begin with, and I think there was some nerves. I think if we're going to look at it, to preface your question, yeah, Drake Maye is going to take this team as far as it can go. If I'm looking at it from a positive perspective, the defense showed up, and they're going to provide some support for him in doing that. We're going to talk about the next game. I think it's going to look similar. I don't think Drake Maye fumbles twice in the next game, and I don't think he starts the first half slow. I think he'll come out and be more aggressive from the start because he's going to understand what he's going against from the jump.
If you talk about Drake Maye, though, you got to talk about Josh McDaniels. I think he also helps him settle down, settle in, get to the plays that, all right, I can tell my guy's nervous. Let me give him the plays that he's going to be most comfortable with. Starting in the second half, obviously, he looked a lot better. But also, they let him run. They said, hey, if you have the option to run the fucking ball. And he did that. And it was just, I think you have to, if you say Drake Maye had a great game, you have to also say Josh McDaniels had a great game coaching Drake Maye.
Well, allow me to stop. I did not say Drake Maye had a great game.
He didn't have a
good game. I'm sorry.
He did what he had to do.
Tale of two halves. He had a great second half. I'm sorry.
No, he didn't. He had an okay second half. I think he had another fumble. He had 2 fumbles and an interception. I mean, you don't get good game when you have 2 fumbles and interception in a playoff game. You were just lucky you had the other dingbat on the other side of the ball and those injuries, and you were playing the team you were playing. Let's call a spade a spade. However, I think he's, as I just mentioned, he can escalate from that. And yes, I agree with you. McDaniels has a big part in that for sure. Coaching is a major advantage for the Patriots. I lost my train of thought because you talked about Drake Maye having a great game, and I was just.
I lost my train of thought with that fucking white button-down shirt you got on.
Although we go to the end of the road.
He looks like a criminal that just got out, like he's like a criminal that just came from like a court hearing. Like that's really kind of what I'm seeing. That's what it looks like.
Does this look cooler? I mean, I can go wardrobe change really.
I like the way it was before. Turn that shit back around.
Nope, I like it. This is.
Oh, I know. I knew I had something to do. Well, I'll do it at the break if you give me a second. Stay tuned, folks. We got a surprise for you. Richie wardrobe change at the break. Here's what I was going to say. If we're grading Drake Maye on a scale of a first playoff experience and first game, sure. Good game. On a scale. Okay. Well, Ray in grading was never a very fucking Astute thing to begin with. Grading on a scale, you're talking maybe a B+. He threw the game-winning touchdown. He rebounded quickly. He used his legs as a young athletic quarterback to move the ball. All those things are good. Just on a regular basis, you fumble twice and you throw an interception. No, that's a fucking bad game for you. But they won. They won. So let's move on from Drake Maye. If we could, let's talk about his offensive line. Of course, we'll get to the defense here in a second. But for continuity, let's stick on the offensive side of the ball. That offensive line, specifically the left side and the rookies, sucked. Worse than the Chargers' offensive line, at least in the first half. Campbell was getting ragdolled, and Wilson should have been benched at least in the third quarter. I mean, at least for a series or two as a rookie to go, look, man, get your head back in the game. Put Ben Brown in there. I get from a talent perspective, they're probably a wash, but those kids were getting smoked. And look, Drake Maye was sacked 5 times, the two strip sack fumbles. He was under pressure all game. He handled it okay, but his pocket was tighter than an Irene asshole on a Tuesday night. Every single drop back, he was playing in a slit, not in a circle. And you got the Texans coming to town next week. So I get what you're saying, Bobby. I kind of agree with you. I don't think the slow start turnover thing should be expected because of the track record of Drake Maye. However, you got to be a little bit concerned about that offensive line going up against the likes of the Texans here.
Yeah, I am concerned. I mean, we'll give. I'm going to hope that this was. I mean, Campbell came back for one game against the Dolphins team that had already packed it in. We got to remember he missed 4 or 5 games with an injury, so hopefully he's getting back to playing speed. And Wilson was the same thing. He's been in and out with an injury, so we can only hope that they're back to speed. But yes, now they're going up against a team that has a similar set where they have 2 great edge rushers. They're going to have to figure that out, or at least now knowing going into the game, they can plan for it. They probably went into that game thinking Campbell could hold his own. Maybe if they know that he can't, then it needs to be accounted for.
Ray, can I give you a second guess with McDaniels?
Yeah.
Why did they stop running the ball? I mean, you got into very predictable offensive play calling where they would run the ball with Stevenson on their first down, get 4 or 5, maybe more yards. Stevenson was the best offensive player in the game. And then second down, they go to a shotgun and they try to throw it. And more often than not, they were in a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, where it felt like if you just kept running the ball a little bit more than they did on second down, you could have been ahead of the sticks a little bit more than they were. That's one second guess you can look back at.
Answer for you. It's the NFL. They want to pass the ball.
Good answer. Okay, good
I think secondary answer is I think they were also trying to get Drake Maye going and wanted him to get the experience. I think that they do play the long game in that. But the answer to it is they're going to have to run the ball just the same or more to win these next 2 games if that's something they're going to do.
Third dairy answer. This is a Josh McDaniels staple. He gets pass happy, especially in second half a game. It's been chronicled, and the Patriots have so many documentaries out there. Belichick, you could hear him on the headset, run it. We might need a little bit more of that from Vrabel, because I noticed that maybe in the middle of the third quarter, it's like, all right, first down, there's 6 yards from Stevenson. I said to my wife, watch this, they're going to go shotgun and try a quick little pass here. And there you go. There you had it. So stay away from your trends, McDaniels. All right. Probably what won him the game. The Patriots defense. We've been waiting for it all season long. We've been talking about it. The Christian Gonzalez effect. When will it come into play? Wildcard weekend. They went man. They went man a lot. And, we only got the TV copy. You can't really see what's going on in the secondary. But from everything that you heard on the broadcast and when covering the game, Christian Gonzalez showed out and showed up until he went out with that. What did he go with, Raymond?
Concussion.
There it is. Carlton Davis with a DPI and a phantom injury. That's par for the course. And Marcus Jones with an unbelievably great play deep in the secondary, Lad McConkey. So, you kind of checked off all the boxes there, except Raymond, it was refreshing to see him go to man that we've been calling for all season long. And it seemed to work. I don't, whether it's the Chargers incompetence, Justin Herbert turned into a turtle, their offensive line sucking, which I don't think is the case. We can get to here. But what's any take on the coaching and the decision to go man there as soon as you hit the playoffs?
Before you got on, Bobby and I were talking about it. I think he had it great when Milton Williams went down. They didn't want to show their hand. They just were like, all right, we'll wait till he comes back and then we'll show our hand like come playoff time. I think Bobby hit it right on the head with that. I think that's what they did. I think they were waiting for the opportunity for the healthy guys to come back, and now they're showing what they have, and they look like a top 10 defense in the NFL.
Basically, when his
chance-
injury went down, they played base defense, and they finally spun the dial some. They played some man defense, and they actually played straight up. And yeah, I kind of think that was sort of what was going on.
I think that's true. I think you also, if that was their intention through the season to wait and kind of show their hand and when it mattered most, I think you also lucked out with the matchup. You had three receivers in Johnson, Keenan Allen, Lad McConkey, who are kind of zone beaters. Allen specifically and
The corpse
McConkey.
of Keenan Allen as well.
And you've got three good man corners out there, and then you got an offensive line in the Chargers, which certainly by the second half, what's the defensive coordinator? Coach Koff. And Vrabel just went, fuck it, dial it up.
Kerr.
How many times do you want to say Koch and cock?
Nah, he just likes that stuff.
Yeah, it's still in my brain from your mother last night. They dialed it up. They brought pressure on, I think the number was 39% of the time. They brought blitzes, which is very high for the NFL and the Patriots. Herbert was under pressure 57% of the time. By the fourth quarter, they just refused to not send 5 or 6 guys. They were just blitzing. And at that point, they'd gone zone, so a little bit out of the what we're talking about. But regardless, you give up 3 points. That's a good day. How much of that was here it is. Nice segue, Grando 2007. How much of that was the incompetence of Justin Herbert? Here, I'll read what we got here on the screen by him. Or unless Ray wants to take it down. Laugh out loud. My son called the game a Herbert special, and I agree. Should have continued to run. What's your thought on Herbert there, Bobby? Is he a pants pooper, or the team not around him good enough? The offensive line an issue?
He's exactly who we thought he was. He's a good fantasy quarterback. He gets stats, but when the time comes, every single time, he isn't that guy. He's not a top 10 quarterback. He's a very good NFL quarterback. He just doesn't elevate talent around him. He is just a front runner. He is not someone that's going to win games. Can be part of a winning team, but he's not going to be the reason why you win.
0-3 in the playoffs. So yeah, you're not at that echelons of a top 10 quarterback yet until you get that playoff one off your back. Don't fucking laugh at me. I use big word.
Echelons. The echelons. We were Cam Newton the fuck out of this program.
Goddamn right.
You know how you're not how you can identify a not a big game quarterback or a very heady quarterback is when you blitz every single play as a defense and your quarterback can't make you pay. They made him pay one time on a little drag route over the middle, which you can do every time. Every time you blitz from the linebacking level, any quarterback with a head on his shoulders just throws it to that spot. He finds his receiver. They blink twice at each other, give the stroke off fucking mode or whatever, and dunk it down for a 19-yard gain. And Herbert couldn't do it once. And the other key giveaway that I know this kid is not up for it. His offensive line stunk, sure. But when he was scrambling, specifically to his right, he had 3 or 4 balls to the sideline that weren't even close. I mean, the coverage was there. It was almost like he was throwing it away, but the game was too close. He couldn't afford to throw away balls like that, and he could have scrambled for 5 or 6 yards. And he was throwing it, and his accuracy was just dog shit. Absolute dog shit. So, yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in Justin Herbert. I think if he sticks it out, could he be a Sam Bradford? Could he be a Baker Mayfield, one of these resurrection projects with the right coach and team around him? Sure, he's talented enough. But the way the Chargers are using him as their end-all be-all, I think we saw the ceiling on that this year. Quick nod to a couple more players here. We mentioned Marcus Jones, Christian Ellis, all over the field. That game.
Do you think he needs Spillane? Is that why you think he had that kind of? You need Spillane. Yeah, if you don't have Spillane, he can't be that guy.
Yeah, everyone's gets slotted down for sure.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
For sure. We would be remiss not to mention Milton Williams with his second game-ending sack of the season. You don't see a lot. And Christian Barmore, 2-man wrecking crew. I sent you guys. Someone chronicled a couple plays. At one point in time, it was just those two against 5 offensive linemen and a running back, and they got a sack. So, combination of injured, shitty line from the Chargers, but those two were wreaking havoc. I mentioned it to Bill.
Enjoy it while we can, boys, because this is the last season those two are together.
It may be. We can talk about the offseason when it's the offseason. But Barmore seems troublesome. I mentioned it to Bill. They weren't getting pressure with 4 up front, but you just had to get control out of that game and let the pass rush wear down the offensive line. And you saw it in the fourth quarter. It was lights out. A couple of those hits towards the end of the game Herbert took, the one of them with the fumble, I was like, oh, Jesus. He got fucking crushed. Ray, you're giggling silently to the screen is distracting me.
I'm sorry. Your fucking white fucking button-ups are distracting me.
Fair enough. It is time for a wardrobe change. Before we do that, a little preview on the Texans. I guess just give me your thoughts on the game coming on Sunday.
Go ahead, Raymond. Yeah, I think it's going to look a lot like the Chargers game. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think there's going to be field goals. I think that the Patriots will move the ball in the entire game as opposed to waiting to the second half. As I stated before, I think Drake Maye will feel more comfortable, but I think the Texans get a few points, but I think it'll be a low scoring affair. I don't think it'll look all too much different than the game we just watched.
I think the Texans offense is going to be worse than the Chargers. I think if the defense rolls like they did against Sunday, I think they're going to make CJ Stroud. I mean, they're missing now Tank Dell. They're missing who else are they missing? Nico Collins he's going to be out. I mean, I think that they're banged up. They don't have a running game. They don't have a passing game. I think it's going to be a one of those games where the defense holds their own, and Drake Maye is going to bounce back and have a great game.
It'll be hard to be worse than the Chargers offense, who finished with a net 0 passing yards in the second half of that game. When you take
this one? You talking about this from the
111 mark in the second quarter to the 539 mark of the fourth quarter against the Patriots, the Chargers did not record a single passing yard. They did not have a completion in the third quarter. So passing yards, you get them taken away if you have sacks and such, which is going into account there. But in the third quarter, they didn't complete a pass. So it'll be hard to get worse than that. I think you'll see a better effort. 3 points. Again, I find it hard to believe you're going to hold the Texans, any NFL team, to 3 or less points. That was a display of – that was a proper display by the Chargers. But I can see the Patriots losing this game. I don't totally agree that Drake Maye is going to come out and have a excellent MVP performance. It's the best defense in the league. They've won like 13 out of 14 games. They're a very fucking good football team. Now, it was 7-6 going in the fourth quarter against the Steelers. So yeah, they are limited offensively. And if Nico Collins is not there, you certainly have the edge, and you should be able to score more points than the Houston Texans at home. I agree. But if they win 10-7, like, I won't be surprised. Not at all. I think it's going to be another rock fight, dog fight, hard game against this team. Every team that's played him, it's been that way. So you should not think it's going to be any different for the Patriots. You just got to hope for Drake Maye to have an MVP performance and have 1 or 2 game-changing plays the same way he did against the Chargers. Superfan Patrick says Maye leaving the field in a body bag. That may not be wrong. That left side of the offensive line looked like dog shit, and the Texans are very, very good. So, there you go. We'll find out at 3 p.m. on Sunday, Patriots versus the Texans. We'll be right back with some more NFL talk. What's going on around the league? Before that, headlines with the obvious one.
Thank you there, Richard. Magic has happened for the first time in 7 years. No, I did not have sex, but the Patriots won a playoff game. Patriots 16, Chargers 3. Drake Maye was average, while the defense was elite. Patriots take on the Texans on Sunday at 3 p.m. at Gillette. Other games, Bills travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. 49ers travel to Seattle, and the Rams head to Chicago. Jaylen Brown doesn't care about the fines anymore and wants everyone to know these refs fucking blow. After losing to the Spurs and only getting 4 foul shots, Jaylen Brown has had enough. Celtics travel to Miami to take on the Miami Heat Thursday at 7:30. The Bruins, winners of 3 in a row, host the Detroit Red Wings as we speak. And finally, the Red Sox. Well, the Red Sox is fucking front office. We'll get to it in a little bit. This has been Headlines with the Obvious One. Back to you there, Richard.
Apparently, the Celtics are dumb front-running pussies. This is the same team they have been for 4 years running.
Well, my worst nightmare came true. Missoula and Mayo are friends. What the fuck? Apparently, they've known each other since Virginia. They have these docking sessions where they talk about ball and managing people.
7 won't be on a scene to catch
I'm on vacation. I'm going to quay all these. I'm going to fucking watch them this week.
Do you say Quay?
Is it not quay?
It's Q! It's Q!